Previously on Podcast Without Pretense.
You know, guys, I can't wait to spend 45 minutes talking about an opening credit sequence.
So my sandwiches were like moldy, and I don't like moldy sandwiches except this one sandwich, which is delicious.
Yeah, you definitely can't drop your phone like that. I mean, it's like 30 feet.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Strickland.
I am not.
That's IS. I'm Eric.
So
I don't have a
together
cat.
we are three
There's
guys
cat.
who have already recorded this. This is the second time we've recorded this opening.
And we'll keep doing this till we die.
So we had a technical glitch while we were recording this the first time, and sadly, the first few minutes of that podcast are lost forever. But what
if
you are
watch
about
it
to
live-
hear,
Go ahead.
unless you watched it
Yeah.
live, in which case you actually get to see it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna play the rest of the episode as if it was all fine. What we're talking about is the film #horror. You might wonder, is it important that I missed the beginning of that discussion? The answer is absolutely not.
Nope.
I guess we could say quickly how far we got. As you said, you got originally when you first started watching this on your own before I had actually picked it. You got 10 and a half minutes in or so.
10:25 for me, yes.
Okay, and then this time you got how far?
5:15.
Yeah. So I has actually got less far this time.
Well, I've seen
having
this
watched the
shit.
second
Sorry. It's
Eric,
a pile
you got-
of shit.
You got much further.
Mine was an hour and 3. Yeah, I made it pretty far.
Yeah, It was 18 minutes before you paused it the first time, but you didn't stop. You just kept watching
Just
with
kept
all your
going.
concentration. You just had to take a break. I got 15 minutes, 30 seconds into it, and then I stopped. So now you know how far we each got. And what's going to happen now, I guess, for the rest of this episode is the remainder of the conversation that survived our first recording attempt. The only one who doesn't demonstrate any major problems is I think her name is Ava. There's one other girl.
She's in the show.
The girl whose name I haven't written down.
She's in the movie for like 22, maybe 22 seconds. Like
Yeah.
here she goes.
No, there's.
She's
I
just
don't
like,
mean the one who's having an affair. I mean, there's one other 12-year-old girl among the other ones we just mentioned, who she's like one of the ones. She's the one who's running in the hallway. Like the video watches the video afterward, like they can see her running as she's being attacked. But I don't remember what her name. I think her name was like Ava or something. But anyway,
Yeah.
she's the only one out of the girls who does
she had
not
a
seem
story.
to have an overt issue.
Yeah, she's the one whose name I didn't get because at some point after I saw her dead, I was like, I don't even know what that girl's name is. I can't write it down. Yeah. All right. So yeah, there's a gun in the safe thing. They blah blah do that. All right. So now we get to the point where I mean basically I'm just skipping the details here. Sophia cuts Georgie. Blah blah blah. All right, so finally, Kat. At this point, Kat is yelling at Georgie a lot for being fat, just pretty mercilessly. All the other girls were making fun of her, and then Kat steps up and just takes it to another level. Then Sophia kicks Kat out. Kat freaks out for being ostracized from the group of popular people, as you do. Leaves the house. Goes out into the woods, calls her dad crying. Dad doesn't pick up. She screams, "Mom never screened my calls." That's about it for that part, I believe, right? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
mostly.
Kat sees all their photos on the phone. So we get one of those sweet interstitials of, bright lights and shiny things. She sees all the photos of them having fun and blah, blah, blah. All right. Cool. Dad doesn't pick up. Kat posted. Right. So now Kat is posting photos of Georgie from outside the house, making fun of her, calling her fat. Georgie freaks out, and Sam steps up like the adult that she is and suggests that since they all have their problems, they should all put their phones in the safe and just have fun for an hour. So they do that. They put all their phones in the safe. One of the girls actually says, "Do you think that's a good idea? There's no landline installed." And I was like, wait a second, these 12-year-olds know what landlines are. That seems unlikely.
Yeah.
But smart, actually. Kind of like good idea. Either way, all the phones go in the safe. The key gets thrown at the bottom of the pool, which I actually learned later. I saw that scene and didn't know what they were throwing.
I thought at first that she was throwing it out into the yard, like in the snow.
I was really confused. Great, lock up phones. Cool. Now we get to the better parts of the movie, right? They play around for a little bit. They swim. I mean, people start dying soonish. So
I think the only scene that really I halfway really liked was of them inside the tent that was at the end of the pool. It had a movie playing on the inside of the tent, and it's all of them having kind of a heart-to-heart
problems. Yeah,
that part actually, for one thing, it gave the actresses a chance to actually act and not just be snarky bitches to each other. And I kind of felt like that was approaching something that felt a little more genuine. I still didn't care about anybody because they're all a bunch of rich bitches, but at least they were getting closer to having me care about them. And I kind of wish there were more scenes in the movie that were effective like that one. And even that one's it's not a great scene. It was just the closest thing to something that I thought was good.
Yeah. Let's see. Right before they go into the tent thing, they drink some wine and act like they're drunk, but they're not. That becomes important later. Other note. How the hell do they all go into the pool wearing the exact same swimsuit? I found that amazing. But
it's because they were in like their school uniform clothing, right? That's what was going on.
Uniform. I mean, so that was supposed to be like a jumper? No,
I think I don't think it's on later on.
I don't think it was even a jumper. I think maybe what it was like maybe the hoity-toity school they went to has a pool, and so they all have just like school uniforms. They all have school standard swimsuits.
Okay.
They were very gray.
Right. Yeah. At this point, Sam has a weird. During the pool scene, Sam has a weird vision of blood filling the pool. So that was interesting. Kat's dad shows up. Great. He turns out to be an asshole. He's
a psycho who threatens 12-year-olds.
Right. So as the scene starts, I'm like, he's reasonably pissed because he can't find his daughter. Then the scene goes on for more than 30 seconds, and I'm just like, oh, this guy's a crazy person. Like, right? Because, like, you show up, and you're like, where's my daughter? And they're like, we don't know. And you're like, what the hell? But
what? And
anyway.
Then he threatens 12-year-olds with a kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Yep. He threatens them directly. And there's another point where when he realizes that they may have had some alcohol, he grabs them by the face and then smushes his face up to theirs to sniff and see if they're drunk.
You know what, Jonathan, as you know, that is standard protocol for psychopaths. Right. You don't do that. This guy, Dr. White, he's a doctor, right? So, like, he's like kind of on the upper echelon of, like, assuming intelligence. He grabs girls' faces, says some names that I have on my list here, grabs a fucking like butcher knife, gets in their face looking for Kat, his daughter, who he fucking hates. Clearly, none of these characters are actually like intelligent. None of these characters are. This is like one of the shittiest movies we've watched. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the feeling that Dr. White, like, this is me putting my interpretation on it because there's nothing in the film that directly backs this up. But my feeling was that Dr. White's reaction was more kind of about how Kat's behavior was going to end up reflecting on him. rather than anything else. So it wasn't even that he was so concerned about his daughter, more like he was concerned about himself because of what his daughter was doing. Because it's clear that something like this has happened before. He makes several references later on, especially when he encounters Alex, that there's been some sort of other incident. We never learn what it was, but there has been some other precedent.
Yeah, a bunch of my notes are, wait, what the hell happened last time? Because he just says, like, during this scene, he says something to the point of, like, I should have had you all arrested and charged for whatever happened last time. Anyway, so he walks around like a psycho, threatening people in the house. All the girls are scared. One of the girls runs away, so technically two of them run away. One of them runs away and is still in the house. Sam runs away and goes outside looking for Kat. So she's just outside looking for her. Eventually, Sam stumbles upon Harry's car, or whatever his name is, and runs back to the house to tell the other girls, but that's actually a further scene out. Because apparently Harry was like in the driveway. It didn't seem like he was parked far away when he was sleeping with his art director and getting murdered. But whatever. Also,
by the way, let's take a second to rewind and just think about the beginning of the movie here. So as the movie opens, you've got Harry and the art director chick having sex in his Ferrari, and then she gets out of the car at that point after they've had sex right off the road. I guess they're technically still on the street. She gets out of the car and says that she's going to go pack so that she'll be ready for whatever trip they're going to go. And then she just walks off into the woods. There's no house there. So she just gets out of the car and starts walking into the woods. Meanwhile, he calls his wife. They have an argument over the phone. That's when he gets his throat slit after his wife is hung up, and he dies. And as Eric just said, because Sam comes across the Ferrari and sees him dead in there, the car must not have been very far from the house. It must have been just on the street. So does his art director chick live like a house down?
Away. But we also know that all of these houses are not close together, because both the dad and the mom, when driving, talk about how far the distance is to the house.
Okay, but stop overthinking this, guys. We have they're like this beautiful house in the woods. Art director somewhere. The actual geography is not like a prime directive of this movie at all, because you're right, because she leaves the Ferrari and then Harry gets his neck slit, but also he's at the freaking base of his driveway.
Yeah.
I don't know the woods very well, but in my head the woods are like all the woods, right? So maybe in this case the woods are much smaller.
As if
I don't
we
live in the country.
If we remember from that classic masterpiece we watched, A Talking Cat, ? The woods are just a short jaunt away from the beach.
Right. It's all the same location. They're all like this. Like when you look at a map, it's not like this is the scale. It's to scale. 5 millimeters.
It's 1 to 1.
And the beach is exactly how it is all the time.
Oh man.
All right. Sam found the car, told the rest of the girls call her a liar, ask what else she's lying about, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really matter. They tell her to go away again. My note here is, great, that worked out so well last time. All right. So dad found Alex. This is Dr. White found Sophia's mom. She's going into a church, presumably for AA. I think that's mentioned at some point previously.
It sounds like she's pulling a Fight Club thing where she's going to meetings even though she has no intention of changing her behavior, or like she's going there as some sort of emotional release or something. And so it felt like it was very Fight Club-esque to me.
He says he's going to press charges, whatever. She's blah, blah, blah. Basically, he's just like, my daughter, he yells at her. She's like, I don't care. And she's like, well, I'll help you look for your daughter in an hour and a half when I'm done. At this point, I'm like, hold on. Like, there's a child missing. And she's just, and both of them are just, none of this makes sense. Like, no one has called the police at any point during this film. That never happens. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, she's in AA. That's great. Sam is calling down. So we have a scene in the bathroom. Sam is calming down from a panic attack. Very standard, telling her things that exist, things that exist. She says that, the car's not real, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm an hour and 3 minutes in. I'm getting kind of tired. No one else is dead yet. All right. The dad has devolved into madness. That's my note. Sophia found her dead dad. Oh, right. So yeah, the dad is now outside of the house, searching in the woods, presumably in the woods outside the house.
This dad being
said, all woods are very small. Yeah,
this would be Kat's dad, Dr. White.
Kat's dad. Yeah,
yeah, because Harry, Sophia's dad, is still very much dead.
He is very dead. Yeah. Does he enter the house again? I don't remember that happening.
Dr. White? Yes, he does eventually, just at the very end.
But just at the end, right? Okay. Yeah. Sophia eventually goes outside. I don't remember why. And she finds her dead dad. And she calls mom, Alex, who's standing outside her AA meeting. Her AA buddy tells her. So Sophia calls from her dad's phone. And basically the person standing with Alex is like, take control of your own life and tell that asshole whatever. So Sophia calls her mom. Her mom answers the phone and just screams at the phone as if it was Harry calling, which doesn't do any good. Then she hangs up and turns off her phone so Sophia can no longer call her mom from her dad's phone. Sophia leaves the car with her dead dad, and there's a gun. So that's great, right? Now we got a gun in play. Sophia is wandering around the woods now. Eventually, she runs into... that's not yet. All right.
No, that's after everyone else is dead.
Yeah, right. The girl who ran off is dead. This is the girl that I don't have the name of. So Kat is in the basement when when the girls tell her to go away, eventually she's wandering around the basement and she finds girl whose name I don't know dead.
It mixes up. Kat got thrown out of the house for being a bully.
So
Kat was
Sam
thrown out.
Was in the basement.
Sam is the poor girl who's like being the hero, and Sophia is the person whose house it is. And Sophia is also out, and Sam's trying to save everybody, and that's where we are. Because Georgie's busy. I'm not making this up. I'm not being a dick. She's eating cupcakes with Francesca, because that's her character. And Francesca is being tough, because that's her character.
And also, Francesca is criticizing Georgie's eating habits. Georgie is calling Francesca awful homophobic slurs.
Yes.
Yeah,
everybody's we're all caught up now.
Yeah, there we go. My bad.
Yeah. Roughly the next 20 minutes are like just basically all of this coming to it. Yeah.
I am not summarizing. This is actually what happens in the movie, okay? It's like these are the characters. Yeah. I'm not being like judgmental on this one.
No, they're cutting back and forth with all of this.
Yeah, Sam finds the dead girl in the basement and gets attacked by we don't know who.
Spoiler, it's Kat.
Spoiler, yeah, right. Blah, blah, blah. Found her in the basement. Sophia's dead now? Maybe? No, Sophia's not dead yet. So finally, Kat is back upstairs. They have the dad's phone because Sophia came back to the house. Right. Sophia's not dead. Sam found Sophia in the woods. Sam tells Sophia to run. Sophia's got the gun. Sam's going to go back into the house and get their phones. but she has to get the key out of the pool first. So that's where we are now. Why are they fighting now? Yeah, because Georgie and Francesca are just fighting with each other. Because they see the phone and they see the people dying on the phone because somebody's been posting it to social media. Also, this entire movie we see like random, like that they're being filmed by somebody. I did notice that the timestamp on the camera when they show that actually lines up to the runtime of the movie pretty well.
Delightful.
Little Easter egg there.
So this whole thing unfolds in real time.
Yeah. Sam goes back into the house, jumps in the pool, gets the key, almost gets stabbed a couple times, but she doesn't because either Francesca or Georgie pounds on the window. Not sure who it is. I think it was Georgie. I don't know. Sam got the phones, but somebody chased her into the safe. So she locks herself in the safe. So she's presumably safe now.
That's why they call it that.
Shit, Georgie died. That one was like really unimportant and uneventful.
She dies so quickly. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, she does take one last bite of the cupcake before totally dying.
She does. She ate the 6th cupcake, which she should not have done because you know, if you overindulge, you should die.
Yeah. Oh, cool. The camera runtimes are super close to the movie runtime. All right. Where are we? Oh, so we're basically on the last scene. So Francesca, I think, eventually gets killed in a tennis court, and we have like a solid, I don't know, minute of her screaming, which was pretty boring.
She bleeds out, but
also,
she's been, she's been bleeding, but she currently being attacked. She just bleeds out inside a tennis court.
So, like, are tennis courts normally covered by like giant lucite covered boxes, so that when you die, you like put your hands all over it? I don't like play tennis, so like, is that normal? Jonathan,
that
you would know.
That whole house was normal. Like, they make a statement that the guy who owned the house was apparently a friend of Andy Warhol's. I guess that was their way of explaining why it was so weird. This house, by the way, is ultra modern design. It does not look like, it's not like a mansion in the classic, Greek or Roman style. This is like a crazy modern house. It's enormous. It is a mansion. It's just not like, if you think of mansions, you might think of something more like with like a big classical house with wings or whatever. This thing is a weird ass modern house with multiple floors, and it looks more like a museum of modern art.
Like, we could just run this home.
Let's do it.
So Sophia, let's see, who's left in the house that the dad sees?
So Francesca is being killed in the tennis court. You have Georgina's dead. You got Sophia with Sam in the field, I guess, like in the woods, and they're dealing with the other person.
Right. No. Because Sam's in the house.
Sam's in the house.
Sorry.
So Mr. White gets back and is trying to help Sam, I believe.
Yeah, he sees Sam is with Georgie, and Dr. White sees that Georgie is dead. Dr. White snaps out of being a total alpha male asshole for a second to realize that, holy shit, this girl's dead. Also, maybe in the back of his mind, he's thinking, hey, that's one of the ones I threatened with a butcher knife earlier. Maybe I should fucking fix this. And then at that moment, they look outside and they see a figure staring out at them wearing a mask. The figure unmasks, and it is...
Well, it's Kat.
It's Kat.
But the problem here is that before she unmasks, Sophia has made her way back into the house. Sam and Mr. White see that Kat has unmasked. However, Sophia believes Mr. White is attacking Sam, so Sophia, having her dad's gun, shoots Mr. White. Sam then informs Sophia.
Yes.
It was a timing issue. It was a timing issue.
It's like, Sophia, by the way, that guy was totally not the dude who killed everybody. It was actually his daughter. So you just shot a guy who totally didn't kill anybody. He did, however, give your mom a terrible tit job.
Yeah, right. Eventually, Sophia makes her way outside, and Alex, her mother, is actually on her way home because she's only been gone for 1 hour. She is there to witness Kat put a gun in her mouth and shoot herself. Basically, that's where we end the movie. And I think
Kat says that she's finally she wants it all over, and so she commits suicide right in front, because it's a standoff between, was it Sophia and Kat? Sophia's got the other gun.
It was Sophia and Kat, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sophia and Sam are the only two surviving young ladies.
Yeah. At the end, are we done yet with this movie or not?
Well, then we get the heavy-handed.
After everybody's dead.
Oh my God! It's over yet. Okay, let's go.
Then there's
Eric,
a
please.
solid 5-minute social media commentary of all these girls were posting these things online. It got so many likes and nobody cared. The end. But it's 5 minutes of that. So yeah. There you go.
It heavy-handed is being generous.
Yeah.
So guys, I tried to watch the movie before, right? As a normal person. Jonathan would talk about this, right? And I watched the film, and I got till back then 10 minutes and 25 seconds in, and I quit. And it sucked. So then, for this show, I watched this movie at 4 times the speed. Now,
wait, so you finished in 20 some odd minutes?
No, I watched the first 10 minutes and 25 seconds. Wait, hang on. I watched the first 10 minutes and 25 seconds in regular speed, and then the rest in 30 minutes.
Can you do that on Netflix?
You can.
He found an extension. He posted about it. He was very excited.
I did. I have a video speed extension, and I watched this, and you cannot ever do anything else during this. So I'm texting Liz, I'm texting my son, and I'm watching the movie and taking notes. When I finished, I had the biggest headache in the world trying to discern this fucking movie, because they're like, Candy Crush. I'm like, what's happening? What is happening? I'm writing notes. All my notes are in real time. And my head was so broken after watching this fucking movie in 30 minutes. So I recommend never watching a film like this in 1/3 the speed or 3 times the speed, because you will die.
I would also recommend never watching a film like this at normal speed. In fact, just don't watch a film like this.
The scene where they're all dancing around in masks with fur coats on,
that was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
No, in 4x speed, took 2 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I've been sitting here. I have died. I came back to life. It's Easter now, as I do. And I'm like, what the fuck's happening? It's still going on. This fucking film.
Let's take a minute to also appreciate all the red herrings in this movie, right? Because you've got the discussion about the artist whose body was never found. So you have the suggestion of the artist possibly being the killer. You have this weird thing about a vortex in the 4 winds that apparently means a lot to Alex, because it scares her so much she drops her glass, but it literally sounds like just a dumb line to anybody else. So you've got this weird mystical thing besides the artist. That's 2. There's a lot of references to the possibility of being haunted. So you've got the ghost possibility. That's 3. You've got a lot of artwork for this movie shows the kids wearing the masks. So it makes it look like almost like a home invasion style movie. Them, something like that, where it's a bunch of people who break in wearing masks and then are just torturing people. That's 4. You've got the possibility that it's Dr. White. It's clearly not Dr. White. That's 5. Also, let me ask you this. How the fuck does this movie's timeline work? Because the movie opens with the murder of Sophia's dad and his girlfriend, right? That's the way the movie opens. The very next scene is Kat and Dr. White in their car driving to Sophia's house.
So I had notes on this.
How did Kat do that?
I had notes on this. I'm like, is this movie like a multiple timeline thing? Could that be cool? Right? Like in the 70s, this death happened, and then one of these guys came back from the dead in the 90s or 2000s when it's like phones and shit. But no, it's all the same timeline, and it's lazy. So it's a bad story. It's really bad storytelling, and it's a lovely house. But God damn it, I really thought they had more layers to this. I was so bored by this film, and again at 4x speed. Shit, does it suck? It is awful at 4x speed. Don't watch this film.
Can you imagine watching those credit sequences at 4 times speed? Jesus.
I tried to, by the way. There are so many scenes where like it's just like I'm like, okay, this must be fast during 1x speed, like slash tag and whatever and slow. But my head was so tired of. Is it cut that fast in?
Oh yeah, no, it's
speed,
fast. You can read some of the stuff. Like sometimes you can read one of the hashtags, or you might be able to read one of the comments or how many likes something is getting. But it's over in like maybe 3-4 seconds. It's not. It doesn't last very long on the screen.
I had the captions on, so I'm reading and listening the whole time. Yeah, and I took it all in. I listened to the entire damn thing. So
yeah.
I think I probably paid more attention to this movie than any other movie ever because I watched it at 4x speed. It was the worst fucking thing ever. Nah, that's not true. That was pretty bad. It hurt my brain.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Frankenstein's still worse.
Well, at 1x speed, maybe. 4x speed, though, but also I know what it's like, and I'll try it again. But 4x speed, I was sick. It felt like it was like eating 8 Whoppers at one time. You're like, wait, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
it's a bad idea.
Mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what this felt like. I felt so sick.
It was terrible. All right, so that was my pick, and I think it's Eric's turn, right? Because you did Fuller House before. So Eric, it's your turn to pick something.
I don't have anything. I've been looking.
For Christ's sake, don't pick an asylum film.
Pick a TV show.
Hard.
Please.
I keep clicking on asylum films.
Jesus.
Stop doing that.
Please stop doing that. Please.
$4. $4 total dollars.
$4.
If you gave Ayaz, let me ask you this. Ayaz, if you were given the choice, and you have to give it a solid attempt to watch the movie. You can't just pull a bullshit move and walk away. If you were given a choice between one of the truly like mediocre asylum films, not one of the ones that are so bad they're good, or one of the Indian movies that are like 3.5 hours long, which one do you go with?
The shorter one. Always shorter one.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. Look, but do you remember Singham and how great a movie that was?
Hey,
Singham was good.
Can you remember the only brown guy here?
That doesn't mean anything. Do you have any
how many fucking musicals I've actually watched in my life? Do you have any idea? For a while, Netflix, I don't know if it still does, but for a while they had the robot movie, the Indian robot movie that has all the different versions of the robot joined together and make giant robots. No, I'm not trying to be a dick, but do you know how many movies I've actually watched like that already?
All right,
since I was a little boy. It's more than 2. It would be. It's over 10. I've watched many a movie like this, and they suck. They all suck.
So-
Singham was great. Singham was
Yes, it was
legitimately
great
awesome.
now, but when you're like a little kid and you watch this shit and everybody's singing when they're fighting, it sucks, man. Anyway, I've watched at least 15 of these fucking movies. So I would rather watch
Eric's
anything.
something that's horrifying him. So
That's not true though. If the Singham was only 30 minutes, I'd watch that. Okay, 30 minutes, I'm fine with, but I cannot watch 3 hours of Singham. Eric,
It's going to be
punish us.
Glitch, which is rated TV 14. So I want.
What is it about?
It is when a ruthless corporation rips off their new video game, two small-time game developers hire a hotshot attorney whose girlfriend comes between them. It's going to be bad. It's a romantic comedy.
what I love is there's also a TV series called Glitch, and that was the one I thought you were talking about at first. I'm
Right.
like, that says TVMA.
There's also another
watch
movie
that.
from 2015. Oh no, the TV series. Yeah, that's what's coming up. That
That's the
actually
one I was
looks like
talking
it's
about.
okay.
I just added the one you mentioned, so that is now the game developer one. Wow, this does sound like a shitty movie. I can't wait to
It's
see it.
gonna be bad.
Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome. No problem.
So
Yeah.
let's look into the future.
All right.
Next time on Podcast Without Pretense.
I can't believe I have to say this so quickly, but now I have to consider #horror's opening title sequence the second worst one I've ever seen.
So it turns out that plantar fasciitis happens when you watch this movie, no matter what happens. Like you watch this thing and then fasciitis is everywhere. It's gross.
Their big idea was a Candy Crush clone? Come on, who wrote this shit?